It's Inktober and I have been inking every day, but I noticed that I really slowed down on refining the drawings in the comic that I haven't finished yet. So I've got this page where I've inked the whole thing, and then I had the second page where there's a lot of it that's not fully finished, so I can't ink it yet, and I was avoiding working on it, but it didn't seem like I was avoiding it. I kept thinking of other things I should do instead. Once I reached the point where I didn't have much time before I was going to need to start inking the second page, I realized I had to actually finish these drawings. That's when I realized that there was something I was avoiding, and after careful scrutiny, I realized it was the top panel. And what I had before, which I wish I had a picture of, but I don't. Basically, the story goes where there's a king and his rival. The king has the rival killed. And in this panel, the rival's on his, kind of on his belly, like he's just sort of pushed himself up after he's fallen to the floor. And then I had two other panels of pretty much the same position, except he was face down on the ground. And I wanted to show the blood coming out of him seeping into the ground and have it then down here have the ground open up and explode right in front of the king. But I wasn't sure it really made any sense, and I also had no idea how I was going to show the blood seeping into the ground with ink. I reworked that, and now the rival is face down on the ground. It's a top-down shot, and there will be him bleeding out, and it's going in front of the king, and then the ground cracks and then explodes. So I think that's a little more streamlined and hopefully easier to understand. But once I got this panel figured out, which I also got since I couldn't readjust, I couldn't just start from scratch and try to figure out, well, how should I show this? So I had the confines of this area, because there's no way I was going to redraw the under panels and redo this whole page. I figured out how big the panel was, and then I drew it on a spare piece of paper, so then I could figure out what it was supposed to look like without fear of erasing anything around it. And that actually worked really well. After this panel was fixed to where I liked it and I knew how to do it, then my interest in working on this comic just came back to life. And the story ends with the king getting grabbed and then getting pulled down into a fiery pit. And then the throne is vacant. Most of the time for me, when there's something that I'm really excited about, but then something happens where my enthusiasm just kind of slows down, and then I unknowingly avoid working on it. There's usually a problem that I'm avoiding, or something that I'm not actually aware of is a problem. Like I haven't pinned it as a problem, but it's something that I don't know something that I don't really understand. So if there's something that you were really excited about and for some reason you're not so excited about working on it anymore, try doing a little analysis. Step back and see if you can figure out what's the sticky part. Is there some aspect of what you're working on that maybe you don't understand, or maybe is not what you expected? Hopefully after that kind of analysis, you will be able to find enthusiasm for it again, even if that means facing a part that you don't really like. I hope this was helpful, and that's all I have for today.